What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed, all about pressure washing and quote IQ. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about 7 apps that have made Mike millions of dollars in his service business. Mike, how's it going, man?
It's going well, Justin. Thank you.
Hey, if you guys didn't notice, Mike's actually working with a new set here. He's been moving some pieces around. He's trying to upgrade some equipment. And Mike, do you want to tell him a little bit about what you're working with?
Um, no, I don't. I'm just trying out some new things. We're always trying to evolve and get better, add tools to the arsenal, and play around with some stuff. This is the first time I set it up, and I don't know if I love it or not, but whatever.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we want to talk about a couple of things before we get into what is this app? What are these apps? What could it be? Quote IQ is offering a dollar deal right now. Any tier on Quote IQ, try any tier for $1 for your first month. That's the premium, platinum, and the ultimate. So if you guys need help sending estimates, invoices, keeping track of customers, doing the whole deal, getting paid. You need to check out Quote IQ. It'll be the first link in the comment section and the description. Also, we've recently released the Quote IQ virtual call team. We're doing a lot of things here differently. We're doing a lot of things that no one's really ever done before. Releasing call teams, dollar deals, not overpricing our services so much that, we're robbing the people that are using our software. So if you guys want to try out the virtual call team, never answer a call again. Get all your calls screened. Just this week, Mike, I had like 4 or 5 different calls I had one from a magazine, one's from Angie's Leads, one's from, I think, a website builder or an SEO company. So if you guys want to screen those out, you only want to focus on the big ones that are coming through. We also had a call from a hospital that we quoted over $20,000. Check out the virtual call team. It'll be the second link in the comment section and the description. With all that being said, Mike, anything else we want to mention before we jump into the topic of today's video?
Nah, not really. I mean, what else do we got going on? We're tinkering with a new subscription opportunity for people where it's basically it's a lifetime package. You pay once, you never have another monthly fee. We have a bunch of other bonuses that go along with that. You probably received an email if you're a Quote IQ subscriber. If you're not, if you're on the fence and you're looking to maybe change up CRMs, or you don't have one and you want to get one, hit us up, let us know. We're pretty easy to contact. You can send us an email at support@quoteiq.io if that's something that you want a little bit more information on. And then the other thing that we're doing is Justin and I have decided that we are actually, and it's something that we both shied away from for so long, simply because it wasn't really a time. I guess it was kind of a time thing, but we get asked all the time, hey, do you guys do any mentorships? Do you do any, like one-on-one style coaching, anything like that? And I always kind of said, no, it's not something that, I'm interested in. But I decided, and I ran this by Justin, we are going to start doing something very low volume, max 3 people per month. And it's basic, one-on-one access to myself. You can go with me. You can choose Justin. We've all got our areas of expertise. And basically, we talk, we get access via text, via email, Zoom calls, whatever it is. And, basically we'll be your one-on-one coach. And that's what we're doing. So, and I can't even remember the particulars of it. Justin, do you? It doesn't really matter. If you're interested, again, just shoot us an email and let us know.
If you guys want to work more closely with Mike, I mean, if you don't get enough of him on these Friday lives, let me tell you, then you can work more closely with Mike and with myself. So yeah, we're doing a little bit of it's private mentorship, really, if you will. So if somebody's interested in that, it is higher level than a lot of our courses. If you guys haven't checked out our courses already, be sure to check them out, pwcourse.com. I'll actually share it on the screen just so we can kind of show you around a little bit. If you're new here, a couple of things that you need to be keeping in mind is a good place to start: how to wash. Local domination is our guide to how we get big leads. And of course, we got the ad strategy. We got the How to Stripe course, which is an awesome course. We have Mike's Next Level course, which is a scaling course, and just a couple of other niche down courses. So if you're somebody who's like, I don't have a lot of money to get started, but you do want some coaching, be sure to check out pwcourse.com. However, if you want some bigger, higher level coaching, then me and Mike will do that ourselves. So we're doing things really different, okay, with Quote IQ, with everything that we're doing. We're breaking down walls, and we're really trying to just set the tone here. Nobody else is offering you 30 days for $1. Nobody else is offering a lifetime deal, which is something that me and Mike kind of talked about, and we've offered a lifetime deal for Quote IQ. If that's something you're interested in, reach out to us. But we're just doing things a lot different. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about 7 apps that made Mike's company millions of dollars. Okay, so just a little bit of a you know, I don't even know, Mike. What is it called when they say something about a movie? Spoiler alert. We've built
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. We've built a lot of this into Quote IQ. So we've built Quote IQ around the things that are most important and the things that matter most. So app number 1, Mike. When Mike first started his business, he had to use a bunch of different apps. First one was an accounting software for finances and expenses and things of that nature. So Mike, let's talk about the importance of accounting software.
Yeah. So we have got one of the most important things for any small business, any business period, is you have to have accounting software. Accounting software, something like a QuickBooks or a FreshBooks. So, there's a multitude of options out there. And each of these options comes with obviously a price tag. And so that's one piece of software that you definitely have to have, something that is going to, keep track of your invoices, your year-to-date sales. It's going to, it's going to be something that, if you have an accountant or at the end of the year, for tax purposes, you're going to be able to take this and basically say, here, this is the information from my business. This is all the numbers. And this is, so again, it's something that you have to have. If you're ever going to sell your business, right, you have to have the numbers to back it up. Otherwise, it's just some guy saying, yeah, man, I'd like to sell my business for $200,000. Well, if you don't have the books to back it up, then your business is essentially worthless in the eyes of anybody that would have to take out a loan to purchase your business, or, venture capitalists, whatever the case is. So with all of that being said, accounting software is something that is a must-have. It's in my opinion, you form your LLC or you incorporate, right? You get your business insurance, you get your accounting software, you set up your business checking, then you go and you start marketing and you start getting out there after it, right? Those are the key things that you need to do, because without a solid foundation, your business isn't going to be successful. So accounting software is something that you have to have. And we've obviously, and I wanted to preface what all of that was said, what we just said was, Quote IQ was built specifically to consolidate, right? Like Justin said, my business, I was using 6 or 7 different apps, different, software programs to try to get everything done, right? There were things, there were some apps that, could do a couple things. There was another app over here that could do this, that could do that, but nothing was working together. Nothing was all in one place. And ultimately, and I don't want to bore anybody with this, but a couple of years ago, I had a health scare. I was in a coma for almost a month. And during that month, obviously, I was unable to run a business. I had tubes all jacked up. It was a mess, but I was in a coma almost a month. And my wife and her mother and one of their friends that had a little bit of a bookkeeping background came into the office and they tried to manage the business, and they had a hell of a time because I was using so many different things and it just didn't make sense, but it worked to some degree for me. And so, years later, well, I guess it wasn't that many years later, but we eventually determined and decided that we were going to move forward with Quote IQ, and the whole kind of the thought process behind it, the origin story of Quote IQ was we wanted to take all of the most important aspects of software and business management and combine it into one place for a reasonable price, and get that out there so people can run their businesses effectively, intelligently, and be successful. So with all of that being said, Quote IQ has got accounting software built in because that was one of the most important pieces. And so you can take all of the data that you collect over the year and use that for a multitude of purposes.
Boom. Absolutely. Mike, if you can check your microphone settings, because I think you're on the computer mic right now. I do want to walk you guys through what some of this accounting software looks like within Quote IQ. And so just as Mike said, like profit and loss statement, a good thing to know in order to kind of be on top of
Oh,
your
yeah.
business. A lot of guys know what they make. A lot of guys do not know what they spend. And so a big piece of the accounting is actually knowing what the expenses are, which is why QuoteIQ has the expenses here. So you can log everything from gas, bleach, whatever it is that goes into your company, insurance, all that good stuff. And that way you can kind of put a real number to expenses versus sales. Year-to-date sales, another thing that goes on that accounting side, expenses, and just being able, like Mike said, to export this out, send this over to whoever your CPA is or whoever's doing your taxes at the end of the year. And that way you could do your taxes the right way. I know a lot of people that are in the service industries try to, take shortcuts with regards to some of the, accounting stuff, because they figure, well, if everything's cash, then I don't have to claim anything, which is good on one side, right? You're not paying taxes, but on the other side, you can't take loans. You can't buy a house. If you ever wanted to sell the business, you can't really, because you don't really have solid books on it. You just have kind of fudged books. So
Right.
pros and cons, it depends on how serious you want to take your business. Wouldn't you say so, Mike?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's get into the second one. Obviously, the first one was accounting software. The second one is a CRM, and this is where you're going to keep track of customers, keep track of things like estimates and invoice that were sent to those customers. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I made early on in my business, Mike. I didn't have anything to keep track of anybody, and I lost years of customer data that could have been used to, obviously make more money today. So the importance of CRMs.
A CRM. And if you don't know what CRM means, it means customer relationship management, right? And what is the foundation? What is one of the most important aspects of any business? It is customers, right? And if you don't have a relationship with those customers, then they're not going to be your customers for very long. You're not going to be able to follow up with those people. You're not going to be able to continually stay in front of them and remind them who you are, what you offer, and why they need to do business with you again. Because, like Justin said, if you don't do this, those are opportunities lost. We talk about it all the time. There is a cost to acquire every single customer. And if you're not capitalizing on that and you're not, keeping all of their information somewhere, documenting it so you can go back to them, right? Go back to the well, if you will, because we want repeat business. We want these recurring customers. We want to increase the LTV, which is the lifetime value of our customers, because the more valuable the customer becomes when we can charge them more money over and over and over for different services, for more services year after year, right? So if you're not keeping all of your contacts, all of their information in one specific place, it makes it very difficult to then go out and reach out and increase their lifetime value. So I like pretty much probably everybody, when we start a business, you don't think about this, right? You're so focused on getting the customers, doing the work, getting paid. And then it's like, okay, a year or so goes by and you're like, well, damn, I don't have anybody's information. I did it for years. Everything was on pieces of paper, notebooks, and those are all gone in the trash, gone, have been for years. And that is hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost revenue that I just threw away because I didn't know any better. But you have the opportunity for free. You can use Quote IQ for free. It's free if you need to. If you don't want to spend the money and get some of the additional features, you can use it. You can keep track of all of your customers. You can send the estimates. You can send the invoices. You can collect the payments, and you never have to pay a dime. But at least you have all of that information in one place. And if you decide, hey, I don't want to do it anymore, download them, export them, save them, and be on your way. But it's so important that we wanted to give it to you guys for free. I don't know. So
Absolutely.
important.
Yeah, right. If you guys want to use QuoteIQ for free, you can send estimates, invoices, collect payments, and keep track of all your customers for absolutely free. You can download it on the App Store and the Google Play Store. And if you want to get that dollar deal on any tier, that way you can really try some of the features we're going to be talking about here in just a little bit. Some of those higher end features, you can do that at myquoteiq.com, which we'll have linked in the comment section description. But with regards to contacts, okay, so or with regards to keeping up with customers, within your contacts, you have all of your customers here, right? So if we click in anybody, we'll click into Bend Over here just for fun. We can see every single estimate that was ever created for Bend Over. We can see every single invoice that was created for him. We can see inspection forms that were created for him, and we could go in here and when he comes back the next year and he goes, hey, I want to get, my house washed, my driveway cleaned, whatever the case may be, we can say, oh, great, we charged him, $475 for this service. We can go up a little bit this year. So between the fact that I didn't have any customers saved other than what was on my personal phone, and I didn't know what I charged them if I lost those messages, those are the two biggest reasons why I really wish I would have had some type of a CRM in order to kind of keep track of these people. Because how are you going to go up on prices, just like, people go up on prices on us with inflation and everything else, without, without keeping track of this kind of stuff. So all important, right? So first one was accounting software. Secondly, we want to keep track of our customers. The next one is having a scheduling calendar app to kind of organize everything within your business. I mean, Mike, if you ever try to run this business without a calendar, how well would it go?
Well, I tried, right? And it wasn't good. I remember still having like printed out, and this is again a long time ago. I printed out calendars, like just, blank calendars, and I would fill in what everybody was doing for those days. And, it worked. Was it ideal? Absolutely not. Now, if you don't, the beautiful thing about where we are in the world today is we've got technology, and the technology is absolutely unbelievable. And the technology allows us to be light years ahead than we would be if, like we've got the technology to operate like big businesses, right? We have got, CRMs, we've got software packages that allow us to manage and send emails and notifications and reminders, just like, these multi-$100 million service companies, like, I don't know, Orkin, or you pick one, right? A one-man operation for, a, a couple, like a cup, $30, $40 can operate on the same level as a corporate, a corporation. So having a calendar, obviously, if you can't keep track of your accounts, if you, or your schedule, then you're going to disappoint people. Disappointed people, when you miss appointments, those are going to be people that do not call you back. Those are going to be people that tell their friends not to talk to you. Those are going to be people that don't refer you, that don't leave you 5-star reviews. Those are going to be people that ultimately hurt your business. So, having a calendar, having scheduling software is essential.
Absolutely. There's a couple of things that we included within our calendar within Quote IQ to actually make it better and more seamless for people. So obviously, you've got the complete calendar view here, so that way you can kind of see where the gaps are in your schedule. Obviously, this is a dummy account, so it's a lot more white than it is gray. But the good thing is we could see what days we actually have things booked on and how many things are actually booked on those days. So if we come into Wednesday the 8th, for example, we can see on Wednesday, November 8th, we're going to be making $2,126, which is a beautiful thing at a glance. And then if we scroll down here, we can actually see what time and day and everything else that this job is on, as well as what it entails. And if you click this, you actually get everything that you need. You got the phone number here, you got the address here, which we wanted to make as seamless as possible because we know that a lot of people operate their business out of the calendar. So if I click this address here, it's then going to populate in my Maps app, and I'm going to be able to go right to that address. Or if I needed to call or text this customer, I could easily do that directly from the calendar. One thing that we're going to be adding into the calendar is actually the ability to send an on the way text. So we had a couple people kind of bring this up to me and say, hey, Justin, it would be cool if there was some kind of an automation to where I could click the button and it would send my customer something saying that basically we're on the way, notifying them that, we'll be there in so much time. Currently, you have to do that manually. You can click this and just message them directly. However, that's something that I want to add in the future. And that's the beautiful thing. That's why we built this software, because when there are things that can be improved and can be better, we listen to what our users have to say and we implement those things. And that's how, we've been able to make this as good as it possibly can be. So Mike, anything else we want to mention with regards to the calendar?
No, the calendar has been such a monumental thing. And that is something that we honestly were missing. Oh, what's going on? Something that we were honestly missing, like have improved so much upon anything that I had previously used. Dude, get me off the screen. This is messed up. I got to figure this out.
Okay, hold on 2 seconds, you guys. Okay, so like Mike was saying, Mike used a bunch of different tools before. All we did was we took all of our favorite things from all those tools and we just combined them into Quote IQ, and then we take user feedback in order to, I'm gonna remove Mike real quick, in order to make it better and better. So like even the thing with the pricing, so you can see how much you're gonna make on that day. Just every single facet of this is kind of like, designed for certain things. So like the calendar, for instance, goes into a larger tool that we have, which is a customer self-schedule. So if you guys have InstaQuote customer self-schedule, when you send a customer an estimate and they accept it, they can actually schedule themselves on the calendar based on the availability that's within this calendar and the availability that you set inside of the app. So this actually works on two fronts. It works for you, and then it's actually forward facing for your customer, or I guess whatever the opposite of forward facing is, for your customer. So that way they can kind of see what your schedule availability is. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. With regards to calendar, is there anything you guys have seen that you think would be cool to implement within Quote IQ from a calendar perspective, or just anything in general? Let us know down in the comment section below.
Right. Hey, so what I was going to say is there was nothing even equivalent to what we have currently in Quote IQ, and it's amazing. I can open up, I can see everything that is scheduled for the day, every single job, every single technician. Like Justin showed you the amount of money that each job is generating. And then when you open it up, he showed you all the great things communicative wise, but you can also invoice directly from that page as well. You don't have to open anything else up. Open up the calendar, boom, send an invoice, send a text invoice, send an email invoice, whatever the case is. Very, very cool.
Right. One of the features that Mike wanted to add in was the fact that Mike likes his text to be able to invoice for him. So we put in here, like, you could just click this and you can actually click invoice. And from the technician's perspective, he's able to block out, any pertinent information that he doesn't want his technician to have. But that way he knows that every single customer for that day got invoiced. So that's just a little added feature in here. So we just wanted to make it to where you could run your whole day from the calendar if you needed to. And you can do that. You can know how much money you're making. You can click in here. You can know the phone number, the client's name, all of the services that we're going to be doing for this client. You can then invoice them directly from the calendar once the job is completed. So everything with regards to the calendar was to make it as seamless as possible for you to do business, as well as for other people to do business with you. And with regards to customer self-schedule, it's the same thing, right? Like, they can see my availability and they can fill in the slots. Now, with regards to customer self-schedule, we'll never schedule anybody on your calendar. It actually just does a schedule request within here, which you would approve, but I don't have that set up within this dummy account. So calendar, you would think it's a small feature, but it's something that, is kind of a big deal whenever you get into the nooks and crannies of it.
Yeah, people will say, like, can I integrate with this calendar or that calendar? And you can on some. We're still working on a few others, but like, I know that my Google Calendar doesn't operate to the same degree that Quote IQ does, and I don't even use any other calendar except the one in Quote IQ because it allows me to do absolutely everything, and that's why we built it the way we did.
Absolutely. So let's get into the next one here. The next one is pretty much what we built the whole tool around. So I say this, we built a tool around everything that Mike was currently using, but one of the coolest aspects was the map measuring feature. And it was something that we just had to have because Mike was doing a lot of remote quoting, and we noticed that a lot of other guys were doing the same thing, measuring and quoting based on square footage, but there was nothing that took those two tools and then merged them together. It was always like we were having to measure properties and then get on the calculator and then multiply things out and then add everything up in the calculator and say, oh, that doesn't look right. Let's go back in and swap it on this and that. So it was all over the place. And that's why we integrated them both so seamlessly. So Mike, you want to talk a little bit about the map, and I'll pull it up so we can show them?
Yeah. So, back in the day, I never really used the measurement tool on Google. I used a bunch of different other things. And then when Google came around, you could see the street view, you could, look at different things, and it was, again, great tools, but nothing really worked together seamlessly. And so we decided we wanted to have a tool that would basically work like Google Maps with the measuring, piece. So you could measure everything out, but then it's connected into your app. It's connected to Quote IQ with all of your preset pricing, right? So if you're not familiar with Quote IQ, when you're setting up your company, you go in, you list all your services, right? You put in your square foot price or your per piece price. Like if it's windows, this window costs this window costs this. All of these things, every service has got a price associated with it. So when you go in and you put in whatever, you're generating your estimates, you can, manually put in square footage, whatever the case is, and it generates the price for you. Well, we wanted something that was so seamless and so fast because speed is the king, right? If you can get to a customer faster than your competition with a quote, you're going to get that job 87% more of the time. It's just great to have speed on your side. So you measure, and then it auto populates the your quote with the measurements from the app, and you can shoot that off. You can measure out the house right here, and then you can measure out the driveway. You can measure out the pool deck. You can measure out their sidewalks. Everything is connected, and it will generate pricing so fast, so accurately based on all of your inputs that it's a no-brainer, right? We have guys that used to run around, spending a full day where you're not making money, spending a full day going to do quotes on jobs you might not get. And so, I'm looking at that house right now, Justin.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep going, Mike.
Anyway.
So, yeah, it just was something that wasn't built out. It was something that you needed 5 different tools in order to kind of manage. And now it's something that's so fast to where like I can literally do an estimate. We have an ad that we run. I did an estimate under 2 minutes because it was like, here's the address. We measure it out. It multiplies it out times our preset square footage pricing. We look at the price to make sure it looks good. We send off the estimate. Like literally, it's so seamless and so fast. And that's why we built out the mapping tool.
Right. And then we improved the mapping tool and we made it better. We made it, quicker. We added Street View so you could actually see the property and make determinations on your price if it's, if it's where you want to be based on what you're visually seeing. So, something that we are both very, very proud of. And again, that was essentially kind of the foundation of why we started this whole thing anyway. So.
Right. Cool. I mean, maybe we talk about we'll talk about that later because we're going to stick to the points. But, it's kind of funny how everything kind of evolves. You just have to start moving in a direction that you believe in, just like with regards to a lot of you wanting to start a business. Like you just have to keep moving in that direction and then things will start unfolding in front of you. And you start taking opportunities. And before you know it, it'll blossom into something that you didn't even know it was going to. So the next thing we're going to talk a little bit about is kind of leveling up a bit. We kind of talked about some of the foundational pieces that I think a lot of people need in their business. The next one is email automation software, as well as, sending reminders and those kind of things. So Mike, you want to talk a little bit about email automation and how you utilize it?
Yeah. Communication is one of the most important things in any business, right? If you don't communicate, customers, they feel like you don't care, you're not on top of things, they're unaware of really what's going on. And so I think that communication is probably, top 3 important things when, you're thinking about the customer experience as it relates to your business. And I've always been a firm believer in automating everything that I can, especially email and text as far as communication goes, because I'm a realist, and I know that this guy here is going to forget to send text messages, to send emails, to send follow-ups, to send reminders in, 11 months. I'm not going to remember that it's time for these people to think about getting stuff cleaned again, right? So we have automated every step of our funnel. And when I say funnel, I'm talking about from the initial estimate to, 14 months, 20 months, however long you want to set it up. After the work was complete, right? That's my nurturing sequence. Those are the automations that come after the invoice was sent. Hey, thank you so much. Just wanted to follow up, make sure everything looked good. A couple of days later, hey, I hope everything was great. If you could take a few minutes, leave us a review. Hey, like 6 months down the road, did you know that we also offer these services and these services, right? 11 months. Hey, it's about time. Like these are the things that make a difference. And these are the things, the little touch points throughout the year where your customers are thinking to themselves, wow, this guy's on top of it. This is a legitimate business. They are staying in front of me. They care about me. They want my business, right? And you're not going to remember to do this if you don't have these things in place, automated and set up. What Justin's got on the screen here, these are the triggers, right? We've got estimate created, and you can create as many of these as you want, right? Then we've got estimate scheduled. Once the estimate's scheduled, you go into a different sequence. Hey, this is the day of the appointment. We're on the way. We've got some of that already automated. If they decide they're going to decline the estimate, you can use that to your advantage too. Hey, we understand that you're not interested at this time, but we'd love for you to keep our information. If you know anybody that needs our services, please let us know. And then, continue to market to them. Make as many as you can. And then, of course, the invoice paid, that's going to be your nurturing sequence. And that's where that's where the real gold is with automation, in my opinion. It's nurturing that customer, that relationship, continuing to build that trust on what you've already provided as far as the service, right? And then that customer, that LTV, that lifetime value is going to continually grow every single year because you've got these automations in place. It's a brilliant, beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And if you guys want to use Mike's exact emails, the ones that he sends to his own customers, check out Quote IQ, check out I believe it's the platinum tier has email automation. I could be wrong though. It might be ultimate, but essentially you can utilize his entire email sequence, kind of copy to paste into your business, because that's one of the hardest parts, Mike, having to think of the subject line, having to think of the body text, having to think of all the variables that go within there. So if you guys want to check that out, be sure to check out Quote IQ. You can try it for $1 at myquoteiq.com. We got 2 more. Let me see. Yes, we have 2 more that we're gonna do. You want to answer a question, Mike, before we do the 2 more?
Yeah, let's go ahead and answer a couple questions, Justin.
Okay, so if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I do like this one though. Menard says, should I be worried about competition in my area? There are a couple large pressure washing companies nearby me. I was just wondering if it's worth it to start my own side hustle.
Okay, well, Menard, you look like you're 2 years old, so can you even start a business? No, I'm kidding. That baby is adorable. And so this is a great question. Do you think that that In-N-Out Burger or Wendy's thought, you know what, I'm not going to start a business because McDonald's is down the road or Burger King is down the road? No, they saw a need, a niche to fill, a void in their market. And they just said, you know what, I've got the testicular fortitude to move forward with my dream, to pursue the financial freedom that I want. I'm tired of punching a clock. I'm tired of working for somebody else. And yes, there is competition. There is competition in every aspect of your life. When you go and apply for a job, there is competition. When you whatever the case is, when you're applying to a school, when you're doing this, that, or the other, there is always competition. When you're on the job, your fellow employees are your competition, right? So should you not pursue something that you feel that you should simply because somebody else is in the market doing it? Absolutely not. Your competition is somebody you can learn from. Your competition is somebody that can teach you the right ways to do things and the wrong ways to do things. You can talk to potential customers and they're going to tell you, hey, the big guy, he did this, this, and this, and I didn't like that. So then what you can do is you can generate your marketing strategies based on the things that other people don't like about the big guy. They're impersonal. They don't communicate. They're, whatever the case is, be the opposite. Build your business on being unique, on not being the big guy. And that's my opinion. So
I think another perspective as well is a lot of people are looking for the perfect business, right, Mike? Like, I wanted to have like a bunch of opportunity, but like a low level of competition. And I want to make sure that all my ducks are in a row first. And I want to make sure that it's like the perfect deal. It's like, that doesn't exist. Okay. It's 2024. The internet is a real thing. And if there's any businesses that actually make money, then there's probably videos. There's probably other people actually doing them. So looking for the right opportunity it's never going to come, right? It's never going to be the perfect situation. There's never going to be like no one offering it and all these people want it, because if people wanted it, then it would already be offered. So just know that you should never let competition be kind of a barrier for you. Just like for us, how many CRMs are there? There's probably like hundreds and thousands of CRMs out there. Did we let it stop us? No, we just went right ahead because we said, we know that we can offer a product that the market currently isn't fulfilling. And we know that there are customers out there that want this product. And so we went ahead and made it. You want to
guns a blazing. Yeah. And so the next, Menard also said, I was also worried about starting an LLC without knowing if I'm going to commit to a pressure washing business. I was thinking making the customer sign a waiver which acknowledges minor damages. Okay. Having something like that in place, a customer contract, is very smart. Is it going to hold up in a court of law? Yes, to some degree. However, if you really damage something, a little piece of paper is only going to go so far. If you don't have an LLC in place, and an LLC is important because what does an LLC do? It separates your business from your personal assets. You've got a cute little baby there. I'm assuming that's not you. I'm assuming it's a child, and I'm assuming you want to provide for that child. And the last thing you want to do is for a customer who you messed some stuff up for, go after all your personal shit. And now your baby's living in a van down by the river, right? That's not what you want. That's why you form an LLC. How much does it cost to form an LLC? Shit, you can probably do it for under $100 if you do it all yourself, file all the paperwork yourself. I'm sure there's a dozen videos on YouTube teaching you how to do that. Or you can, ball up and go spend $300-400 and just have LegalZoom or whoever do it for you, right? At the end of the day, these expenses, forming an LLC, doing, the minor, the small things, right? Getting liability insurance, whatever the case is, minimal costs, right? A CRM, shit. Quote IQ, the minimum bottom tier is like $30. a month. That's $1 a day. You're telling me that if you're going to start a business, you're not going to be able to make at least $1 a day, right? One pressure washing job, $350, $500, whatever the case is. That's going to pay for the LLC. That's going to pay for your CRM. That's going to pay for some marketing. That's going to, and then you do another job and another job. Like, these are the things that people, they don't think about. The business pays for all the shit, right? The customers are paying for our equipment. I just had a great video with Mike Carmody, the Fresh Rinse, and he said this, and I was like, wow, what a great way to think about things. He was talking about, he wanted to get a mini Mondo, one of those dual surface cleaners, right? Badass surface cleaner, about $1,800, right? Mike's got the money. He could have gone out and bought it, but you know what he said? He's like, you know what? I know I've got a couple commercial jobs coming in. I'm going to wait for one of those. When I land that, I know I'm going to be making, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Then I'll go buy the mini Mondo. That job pays for that plus, right? Think about your business like that. And if you've got that perspective, you'll never second guess. Should I do this? Should I do that? And I'm not suggesting, Bernard, that that's how you talk. That's just my voice when I get frustrated with people that don't have the balls to do what they want to do. Stop thinking about it. Stop talking about it. Get out there and do it.
Right. And Menard, by no means are we saying all this to pick on you. This is just like a recurring theme that we notice pretty much a lot with a lot of different people. So we're glad you brought up the question. The one thing that it kind of seems like you're doing and from your comments is the fact that you got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And I want you to name any circumstance in your life where 1 foot in, 1 foot out actually, equated to anything. You can't name any, because what you're doing is you're trying to limit all your risk and not have any liability, but also get all of the reward on the other side of that. And that just doesn't exist. The other thing is a lot of people try to start this business for as cheap as possible, right? I want to go cheap on my equipment. I'm going to go cheap with not getting the insurance. I'm not going to get the LLC. I'm just going to dip my toe in the water. How do you expect to ask customers for reasonable prices for your work if you're not willing to pay a price to get the equipment, to get the LLC, to get the insurance? If you look at the people that are doing the biggest amount of money, they are the people with the most amount of equipment, the most amount of overhead, the most amount of insurance. The people that take the biggest risk get the biggest reward. And that's why me and Mike have hospitals calling us. We have apartment complexes calling us. We have, all these big opportunities are coming our way because we're not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We went all in. So anything else, Mike?
No.
Okay. Menard says, I appreciate it. Honestly, I'm just scared of screwing up. So Menard, here's the thing. I think like Jim Rohn has a good saying. He's like, if somebody's scared of what's going to happen, we'll just put you in a corner. We'll give you enough food. We'll let you just sleep there and nothing will ever happen to you. And it's like, that's kind of the mindset you have to take on, because at the end of the day, if you do anything, there's going to be a price to pay. There's a price to pay for you taking the risk, but there's an equal, if not greater price to take of you not taking the risk, of staying the same, of Menard never starting his own business. Right, Mike?
Yep, absolutely.
Sweet. So take the risk, Menard, and come back and either thank us later and say, hey, you guys, I really appreciate it, or you were wrong. I'd rather us push Menard into doing something that he's uncomfortable with and failing at it than him never even trying and staying exactly the same. I think that's like the biggest mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, sweet. So we can move on. Menard, thank you so much for the question. We appreciate it, man. And as Mike mentioned, we're doing personal mentorship. So if you guys want a little bit more of that action, all you got to do is
dude, my camera's sucking.
Contact us. Okay, so let's jump into the next one. The next one is having email and text blast. Okay, so incredibly important. You have all these customers saved up within our CRM. We want a way to contact them and give them an offer outside of just having our email automation set up. So Mike, explain the difference between automation software and basically mass email and text.
Right. So, obviously the email automation is what we talked about with the sequences, going through the funnel and whatnot. And the text and email blast, now those are the money makers, right? I use these on almost a daily basis in multiple businesses that I'm involved with, and they are very strong. If you're watching this and you have had any interaction with us, you're probably getting text and email blasts from me, or Justin or Aaron, whatever the case is. And because of these emails, these email automations and how we're accruing and amassing tons of emails, is what's allowing us to reach out and touch so much, so many more people. So I just think that, there are software packages out there, and they can range anywhere from, $30, $40, $50 to, $500 or $600, depending on how many contacts that you have. And then you get charged a per, piece count, whatever, based on lots of different challenges when you're trying to do the mass text and email. But at the end of the day, this is something that has made such a tremendous difference in my business, right? I can send out an email to my pressure washing customers if we've got a light schedule and offer, some sort of discount, something like that. And all of a sudden the week fills up, right? So unbelievably, instrumental in keeping that schedule full and just staying top of mind with your customers.
There's really no better way to do this. Okay. You guys can imagine having 1,000 people that could use your service, right? What other way are you going to do it? Are you going to go knock on their door and talk to them? Or are you going to go pass out a flyer and talk to them? No. All you're going to do is write up an email with a special offer and see whether or not they're interested in it. And you're going to be able to hit all those people pretty much immediately. And you're going to find out whether they're in or whether they're out. So if you have the ability to utilize this, you're able to present offers to large amounts of people several times a year. And that's going to bring in increased revenue into your company. We've been redoing the email and text automation within QuoteIQ. So I'd show it to you guys, but there's not really a lot to show within this currently. Like, we can create a campaign, but where you're going to be pushing an update probably today or tomorrow, where we've completely redone this. We've brought in analytics on your guys' email campaign. So if you send out an email to 500 people, it'll tell you how many of those were delivered, how many of those emails were opened, how many of those emails did someone click through, and how many of those emails did someone unsubscribe from. So if you're somebody who's not utilizing email in order to communicate with your customer base, you're losing out on tons and tons of money. And this is something that me and Mike have talked about probably ad nauseum, but it still, needs to be said, because if people would stop worrying so much about equipment and focus a little bit more on some of these marketing pieces, you would become bulletproof. And trust me, like, we say that from experience. And so anyway, having email and text campaigns is something that's incredibly important. And I think you guys should utilize it within your business. You can try any tier of QuoteIQ for $1, and you can give it a go, test it out. Mike, anything else we want to mention with regards to text and email boss?
No.
Okay, perfect. The final boss, if you will, that is payment processing softwares, which accept payments and smoothly and securely. And we have a bonus one, and that is a software that collects reviews, which, I probably could have mentioned after this. I just didn't want to forget. So, Mike, let's talk a little bit about why an invoicing software is important and the best parts about it.
Right. Well, I think an integrated billing, invoicing software is ideal, which is obviously, you create an estimate, you convert that estimate to an invoice, the job is complete, the invoice is sent to the customer. From that point, what do? They pay the invoice. They can do it online, they can write you a check, they can give you cash, whatever the case is. But making it easy for a customer to pay you is critical in today's world. People, they're not writing checks. Most people, I'd never carry cash, right? But what I always do is I've got Apple Pay, I've got my credit card or my debit card always with me. And, if I get an invoice from, whoever via email or text, I'm just going to pay it immediately, right? Get it done, get it out of the way. In the old days, you'd get a bill in the mail. You'd open the bill, you'd set it down. Maybe you'd forget about it. Things would get shuffled around. But now it's instantaneous. And so you got to make it as easy as possible for people. And I know a lot of guys, well, Mike, I don't want to just send an invoice to my customers or whatever. You gotta be able to do this. And there are tons of apps and software programs out there, like PayPal and what else, Venmo and Square and all these things. And honestly, as a business owner, you don't want to say, hey, what's your PayPal? Or can you pay me with Venmo? Like, that's what my kids use. That's not how a business operates. And it makes you look like a chump. And so my opinion, if you want to elevate your business, if you want to look more professional, if you want to make that customer experience more seamless, you got to have something integrated with your estimating, your invoicing, all of that, so people can pay it quickly. And you'll like it because, you get paid today, the money's in your checking account, within a day or two, and things are good, right? You're not chasing money around. Once we implemented automated invoicing like this, my collections went way down. So that's another benefit. And if we want to talk about it, Justin, do you want to go into the review
No, not yet.
multiplier?
I want to say something about this. Mike is always going to give you guys the highest level perspective. Okay. So from Mike's perspective, why would he Venmo? Okay. Because you've got to think Mike is doing 3-4 jobs a day. Not to mention he's got 5-10 leads coming in every day that he's quoting, that he's sending estimates out on. So why is Mike going to waste time texting each individual person like, hey, can you shoot me a Venmo? Do you have Venmo? Do you have PayPal? Do you have Cash App? No, Mike is just going to send over the invoice and they're going to pay the invoice and he's going to be done with it. So when Mike talks about some of these things, you just have to come from that perspective of Mike's got so much lead flow. He's doing so many jobs that it doesn't make sense to even mess around with that stuff anymore. And if that's where you want to go, if you want to be somebody like Mike who's doing huge numbers in their business, you need to start acting that way and you start moving that way. So that way, when the numbers get bigger, everything kind of moves seamlessly. Because the other thing is how much time are you spending corresponding with customers, figuring out what payment methods they have, arranging times to go pick up checks and pick up money and sending Venmos and all that kind of stuff. It stacks up on your time. And so you really want to be focused on what's really going to move the needle. Another thing is with the invoices, we design the invoice page to be as professional as possible. We get comments all the time of guys saying, I started sending invoices and estimates from Quote IQ, and now my own family and my customers are like, who is this guy? Like, you're super professional. We did that on purpose. This levels you up. So when the customer gets this, they get their invoice. It also works on a couple different levels. The first one is you now can get tipped. Okay. On a Venmo, there's no tip on Venmo. There's no, tip question on cash. So it's just another little added thing. Mike's company makes a ton of money on tips. We actually did a live like a week or two ago on all the money that Mike's company makes with tips. And on the other end of this, we've installed the review multiplier, which I'm going to segue to you, Mike. We could talk a little bit about reviews, but we've made it a seamless part of the process where the customer pays the invoice, they get automatically redirected to your review link. So it feels like a part of the process. And in return, you're getting tons and tons of reviews. So Mike, let's talk about the importance of reviews if people don't know.
Well, yeah, obviously, reviews are one of the keystones. Like when people go to search for anything, they search it on Google, and what do they look at? They look at the reviews. If you're on Amazon and you're looking at a product, what do you look at? You look at the reviews. And so these reviews are essentially, this is like the 2024 version of what is it? Word of mouth, right? Or referrals from people, right? These are digital referrals. These are people that are saying, hey, I use Mike's business, I use Justin's business, and they did a great job, 5-star review. I recommend them, right? So these are recommendations from the world that are telling people about your business. The more reviews you have, the more credible you are, the higher you rank, right? Google looks at reviews and they're like, oh, this guy's got a lot of reviews. He's going to get ranked higher, right? And when you rank higher, what do? You get more phone calls, you get more business, you make more money. So reviews directly equate to making more money. So what we've done is, like Justin said, the invoice is sent, the invoice is paid, and then directly from the paid invoice, it goes directly to your Google review business page, right? Pops it up. Leave us a review. People leave reviews. If it's thrown in their face, right? I've been in business for 23 years now. And Google's only been a thing for maybe like the last 13 years, especially the reviews, maybe the last 10. And we've gotten more reviews in the past 6 months than we had in the last 5 years because of the review multiplier, because of the email automation that we've sent up with that nurturing sequence, asking for the review, right? These are all things that we've implemented to make your business better, to make your SEO rank you higher. So Google looks at all of your reviews because you're adding them up with every single invoice, right? These are the things that we're doing within Quote IQ to make your business better. It's not just about, keeping track of customers and sending estimates and invoices. It's way bigger than that. And it's because we understand what's important and we care. And, I've built this, we built this for the things that I want in my business. I know what moves the needle. I know what makes a business successful. I've built businesses, I've sold businesses, and now we're building something that is going to help everybody else achieve those same levels of success. So, again, this is just something that we're so passionate about. We live it every single day. And I just want everybody to understand how awesome it is and how much impact and benefit it can have on your business.
The other thing is we made it a free feature. So if you guys have the free version of Quote IQ, all you got to do is go into the settings, you click review multiplier, you put in your review link, and every invoice that is paid, you get, not you get a review, but you give yourself a better opportunity to put yourself in front of that customer to get a review. We knew how powerful this was going to be. That's why we put it in here. Like I talked to a guy today and he has like 18 reviews. Okay. He's not in pressure washing specifically. He does a business that's more recurring, but he said, I try to get customers to leave reviews. It's like pulling teeth, which we completely understand. That's why we implemented this feature. We're like, hey, once they pay, we're going to send them directly to the link. I'm not going to shoot them a text. I'm not going to follow up with them and make sure that they left the review. I'm going to send them directly to the link and then they're going to leave the review. But he was like, hey, I don't really need reviews anymore. I do recurring work. I said, that's cool. But our GMB, I have like 130 reviews now. I took it from like 18 a year ago to 130. And now just this week, we did $27,000 in quotes. This week, we're getting calls from hospitals. We're getting calls from large commercial accounts because guess what? We're one of the highest ranking, one of the most reviewed companies in the area. And so these reviews stack up and they make you more money over time. So just another thing that's hugely important. Everything that we tell you guys with regards to like the courses, with regards to these videos, with regards to Quote IQ is only to make you better. And every tool that we've put in this is to make your business as good as it possibly can be. When you say so, Mike?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Pure gold.
Right. Anyway, so that's all of our things, right? So you got your accounting software for managing your finances and expenses. You got your CRM for managing all of your customer relationships, right? You got your schedule for the calendar, so that way you can manage your day-to-day activities. You got the ability to use the measuring tool, email automation, mass text and email, the ability to invoice your customers, and then the ability for those customers to then leave you reviews. Like we're stacking the deck so heavily, and we're only getting better. Trust me, you guys. We got tools that are coming that are going to be even cooler, and they're going to help you even more with regards to, your day-to-day activities within your business.
Yeah.
Is that everything, Mike? Do we want to wrap on that?
Yeah. I mean, we've got, I see two questions three that I kind of want to address. And it's kind of funny. But like, so we're on this and we're talking about, not necessarily high level, but like business related, like the things that are the most important thing to the success and long-term health of your business, right? The foundation, if you will. And then, I'm looking at a couple of these questions. Is a Ryobi Honda engine power washer good for commercial use? Okay. I don't know the GPM, the PSI. I don't know anything about it. So it's very difficult to say that. What I would recommend is you find a good local distributor or dealer, somebody that specializes in it in your area, and you build relationships with them, because these are the people that are going to help you out when you have issues in the field. These are going to be the people that take care of you, which relates directly to the next one. This guy said he bought a brand new pressure trailer, and on the first day, the pressure line sprung a pinhole leak. Okay, that stuff is going to happen, right? That's the cost of doing business. Does it suck that it happened on your first day? That sucks bad. But where did you buy the trailer? Is it a local place? Is it somebody that you trust? Is it somebody that's going to stand behind their product and take care of their products, right? Providing good quality customer service on top of a good quality product. I hope so. And if that's the case, then you take that, your trailer back and you're like, hey man, I just bought this, gave you guys a bunch of money. There's a hole. Can I, what can we do about that? Most of the time they're going to say, hey, take this, sorry about that, and be on your way. But also, it's a great learning experience. You're going to have backups. You're going to have stuff on your trailer, extra chemical injectors, extra O-rings, extra hoses, extra electric pumps, whatever the case is. These are all things that are consumables that you're going to have in order to run efficiently and profitably. So that said, okay, then this guy, Troy, says, what's the best cleaning solution for pressure washing a house? Okay, if that's a question that you have, you need to do a lot more research, okay? Everybody that's watching knows, and not everybody, but it's common knowledge. If you're like legitimately interested in the business, like that's that's like 101. But if you have questions like that and you don't want to, do a little bit more research, you can get something like How to Wash, where we go over every chemical used, how to mix those chemicals, how to apply those chemicals, the processes, the right way, the product, the safety and everything else that you need to do. How to Wash, super cheap. One job pays for it. That's great. But to answer your question, sodium hypochlorite, which is bleach, and water cleans houses. It's great. What else? Menard, he's back. I apologize
how to price houses. Just You guys. Okay.
Hold on.
So keep going, Mike.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, we love answering these questions, right? That's why we're on here. We're on here to answer questions. But this is not the forum to get all of the answers to start your business, right? If you're somebody who just wants to ask questions, we love it. We'll answer all your questions. But if you're somebody who actually wants to learn, you just need to, if you search up how to price pressure washing jobs, I have 5 videos. Mike has 5 videos. Like literally the whole video is specifically designed to help teach you how to price pressure washing jobs. I was planning on doing driveways. If you want a really quick, easy way to price jobs, all you got to do is come into, actually, hold on. Let me pull up a property real quick. All you got to do is go into Quote IQ. You can use the map measuring tool. You can measure out the square footage of the driveway and then multiply it out times anywhere between 10 cents and 15 cents. And that's basically how you quote driveways. But all that to say, you're still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're like, they're on a live. Let me ask them how to quote on a live. And there's only so much we can give you. You know what I mean?
Adam just called me Mikey.
What did
I
he
don't
say?
know. I don't know.
I'm at a 5.5 level right now, Mikey, for the pressure washing Everflow X-Jet modified gun, D's injector, dual port injector. I don't even know what that means.
I know what all that means, Justin.
Okay, perfect. Going to purchase 1,000 postcard from Fresh Rinse very soon.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Adam, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Menard, yeah, we're not trying to, like I said, we appreciate you for being here, man.
But we've also, and again, because these are the questions that we hear, we know that guys have, we have built a tremendous amount of resources within Quote IQ to help you guys out. There is a mixed calculator in there. I have just added like 3 or 4 other calculators for various businesses. I've got a paint calculator, tells you how much paint you need for interior or exterior painting. We've got a mulch calculator. We've got profit margin calculators. We've got calculators that help determine, your hourly rate. All of these things are unbelievably valuable. They're in Quote IQ, and it's stuff that you guys can use. The hourly rate calculator is probably one of the most important things. Now, Menard hasn't started a business, so he doesn't know how to price because he doesn't know what his overhead is. Now, if you know what your overhead is, you've got real costs, you can input all of this in a calculator, and it will spit out what you need to make to break even based on your numbers, right? Then you add in your margin level. That tells you what your target hourly rate should be. Then you also need to know what your market is going to bear, right? Are there guys in your market that are going to be super cheap? Of course. Don't worry about those. Find out what your competition is doing. Find out what they're charging. Don't be the cheap guy. Don't undercut people. Get in there and compete with the guys that are priced the highest, right? Understanding your value, understanding how to convey that value to customers so they will pay you premium prices for a premium service. That's what we're doing. This is a luxury service, right? If you don't think that, then you got to adjust your mindset, because people are paying us because they don't want to do this. People are willing to pay a premium because they don't want to bust their ass all weekend doing, a pressure washing job, cleaning a driveway. So you got to remember that, Menard. When you're out there and you're thinking about pricing, understand you're providing a very valuable service and charge accordingly.
Boom. On that note, we're going to wrap. So, if you guys want more information on how to start a pressure washing business, just hit up YouTube search bar and search some stuff. I guarantee we will pop up. So anyway, made this far in the video, comment down below 7 and we'll hashtag your real one. Mike, anything else you want to say before we let him go?
No, Adam, have a good night, buddy.
Appreciate it, Adam. Hustle hard, get that money, baby.
That's it.
Peace.
Peace.